Hey everybody, welcome back to ChortleCast. I'm Jake, and with me as always, Steven, the Far Cry guy, the stream king, the pun man, and the deadpan man. He's back.
Man.
The deadpan man is back.
I like that one.
Fan of Doctrine is in full swing. We're back and rolling.
Yes.
Halloween is over. Hallelujah. Ha. That's horrible. I love Halloween, so I'm actually not happy that it's over.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything for Halloween this year, but I enjoy the time of year. We just never do anything for it.
See, I didn't do anything for Halloween, but like we went to Disney. We got to go to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
We did.
Like, there's a lot of fun things that happen in the month of October. In fact, the month of October for me, I feel like it just gets worse the further you go in. Like you start off October and it's like spooky time, everybody, let's go. And everybody's doing all these fun costumes and all these fun events are happening. But like by the time you actually get to Halloween, which is like the last day of that month, people are over it. Like it's over. People are done. No one's doing anything. No one wants to do anything. Kids go trick-or-treating. Like that's it. That's it. Everyone else is done. Everyone else has moved on to Christmas at that point. It's a big deal. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. This is not the Halloween podcast. This is ChortleCast, where we talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. This show goes live every Friday at 12 o'clock Central Time with me and Steven. We talk about what we want to talk about. You can be a part of the show by writing in at chortlecast@gmail.com. Let us know what topics you'd like to talk about, what type of news stories you'd like to hear about. And you can also write us at our Discord, in which we have a Discord. You can find the link to that in our description of this video or this podcast if you're an audio listener. But anyway, we got a great show for you this week. A busy week, a lot of interesting news stories. I boiled it down to the things that me and Steven really, really care about because we are doing a lot of stuff. But we're going to be talking about Red Dead, our thoughts on the game now that we've had some time to spend with it. We're going to be talking about that Smash Ultimate Direct that happened this week, and then we're going to be talking about Anthem, some new Anthem news. It's going to be very exciting. But before we do all of that, I have to talk about a very important thing that is happening this weekend.
Yeah.
I finally, this is the very last podcast that's going to happen before this deal goes down, and I finally remembered to mention it at the very beginning. We are so excited to be a part of Extra Life, which is a huge charity streaming event that happens every year. We're so excited to be a part of it. We are going to be participating in the 24-hour live stream game day on November 3rd. For those of you keeping count, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So Steven and I are very stressed. We're talking through some things. We got a lot of fun things planned. We're excited. But we got a lot of stuff to do. So anyway, that is going to be happening all day Saturday. We are starting Saturday at 12 o'clock a.m. and ending at 12 o'clock
a.m.
12 o'clock a.m. on Saturday night. Technically Sunday morning.
If it makes it easier, 11:59 Friday to 11:59 Saturday p.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how I do it.
The whole day, literally the whole day.
The whole 24 hours.
The full 24 hours. But we've got a lot of stuff planned out, a lot of fun games we're going to be doing. We're going to be posting a schedule. By the time you're watching this, there will be a schedule. Should we just walk through the schedule right now, Steven?
Why not? We're here.
Let's do it. We're here. And it's going to be live at this point anyway. So we have a whole big schedule. Starting at 12 a.m., we're going to be playing Diablo 3. Going to be me and Steven.
For the
Switch.
On my new Nintendo Switch that I'm picking up.
Oh my God.
Today.
Oh my God.
Man.
Oh my God. He's so happy. You better charge that thing. Is that something we can play together? Are we going to double team that, or am I just going to be sitting and participating?
No, it's for up to 4-player co-op.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to have a great
time.
Anyway, that's going to be one of the few games that we do for 2 hours. So we're going to do a 2-hour stream of that, starting off, getting it started off light. Then at about 2 a.m., we're going to start Wizards of Legend, which is a fun roguelike that we do. Is roguelike the right term for that? I think it is.
Roguelike, yeah.
At 4 a.m., we're going to start Enter the Gungeon, which is another roguelike that we really both enjoy. At 6 a.m., we're going to be doing a Red Dead Redemption 2 live stream. That's going to be just me. Steven's going to take a little siesta. Maybe just flick around on Twitter for a bit, get a drink, get a bite to eat, something. Steven's going to take a break, but we'll do that for 2 hours. Then at 8 o'clock, Steven's coming back. He's going to play through the new Spider-Man DLC.
I'm going to whip on in with some new Spider-Man DLC.
Oh my God, he's going to whip on in, everybody. You're probably going to beat, your plan is to try and beat that, right, Steven?
Probably not. I'm going to do my best.
We're going to do our best, but we're going to have a good time. And then I will not be a part of that one. But then at 10 a.m., we're both coming back. We're going to be playing that Super Hot on VR. It's going to be a lot
I'm so excited.
Fun. Steven
Not
loves
only
that
is
VR
it the
game.
best, I love that game. Not only is it the best VR game and the reason to get a VR system, but it's going to be me playing it sleep deprived. And this is something you want to see because that game is already incredibly surreal, and you feel weird when you jack out of the headset.
Yeah, I'm hoping. My idea with putting it there is that we've both just taken a nap, so like this is get us going back again. But anyway, then at 11 a.m., me and Steven are going to play Starlink. We're pretty sure there's some sort of co-op system in there. If not, we're just going to play it. At 12 p.m., Steven and I are going to do some Overcooked 2. We may or may not have some additional guests at that point. We're not sure yet. Our guests are going to start to roll in about 12 o'clock p.m. So we'll see where that is. It's very important with this to distinguish AM and PM because it matters for this. After Overcooked, we're going to be doing Gang Beasts at 1 o'clock p.m. At 2 p.m., Steven and I are going to be playing My Heroes 1 Justice.
I'm excited to try that one.
That's going to be fun. And then at 3 o'clock p.m., we have a very special segment that we've been working on, and we're very, very excited about it. It's called Whose Chortle Is It Anyway? You know the show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? That is us playing games similar to and from Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's going to be me. It's going to be Steven is going to be hosting. He's going to be our Drew Carey.
Your Drew Carey for the evening.
Hey everybody, I'm your Drew Carey for the evening.
That's sad.
Steven is going to be hosting. I will be participating. Brody will be participating. Logan, who you've seen on a couple Let's Plays, will be most likely participating.
Maybe. Miles will most likely be participating.
Miles, who we all know and love, might be participating. And then we have a special guest who I don't think he's ever been on the the channel before.
He's been on once in a Wizard of Legends stream with me.
Oh, that's right. Okay. His name's Tyler. He's a really, really funny dude that we know. He's very good at like impressions, and he's just a funny dude. So when we came up with this segment, we were like, man, if we could get Tyler, that would be funny.
Yeah, we were like, this whole thing hinges on Tyler. So
anyway, that's going to be a very fun hour or so segment. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time with it. Steven's already got some games lined up. We were just talking about it, and I was just rolling laughing.
He was.
So hopefully it's going to be very fun. We hope you enjoy that. But anyway, then at 4 o'clock p.m., we're going to play some Jackbox games. I'm leaving that open as Jackbox. The new Jackbox Party Pack 5 just came out. So we're going to be playing that. We'll be playing some new games there. We may play
and a lot of those games include audience participation.
Yes, exactly. So you can actually join us with those and help vote on things and submit answers and stuff. So we may play more than one of those from that party pack, but we'll just see. But that's going to be kind of the Jackbox 2-hour slot. Then at 6 o'clock p.m., we're going to be playing WWE Royal Rumble. Maybe. That's another one that's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
We may end up doing some more Jackbox. That's kind of the Royal Rumble was kind of a last-minute add-on that we're hoping to get happen. Then at 7 p.m., me and Steven are going to play a little game called Snipper Clips. It's a little puzzle game that came out with the Switch. Steven has never played it. Steven's never heard of it. So we're going to do a little bit of that, see how that goes. Then at 8 o'clock p.m., we're going to be playing Destiny 2. We're actually going to do a lot of Destiny 2. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. And then at 11 p.m., we're going to be playing Far Cry Arcade. That's going to be our finale for the night. We've got a special map that's being made for us.
Vlad, one of our subs, has been kind enough to make us a special map. So
We don't really know what's in store with that map, but it's
No
going to be
idea.
fun. It's going to end us off right there, end us at the night. And then, of course, at 12 o'clock p.m. That night. Oh, wait, that's not even right. It'll be... I hate time. At 11:59 p.m. on Saturday will end. Anyway, the whole point of this, though, the whole reason we're doing this is to support the Children's Miracle Network. Is who Extra Life supports. We have a hospital in our state called Blair E. Batson. That's where all of our funds from our stream are going to go. Mm-hmm. They're very excited. We've got some stuff from them. So during the stream, we're going to be talking about what the hospital does and what they're going to be doing with these funds. But we're very, very excited to do that. Our goal is $500. That's a real modest, real low goal. I'd love to blow that out of the water. But we're just going to, we're going to hope to meet that goal at least. And to help us do that, we've got some fun additions. Anytime during the stream, if you make a donation, you can get certain rewards. This isn't a final list yet, but I'll go ahead and read these here just so you have an idea of some things that you can do. If you donate, when you donate, you can send a message, and you just need to send that you want this reward as part of your donation. For $1, you can get Jake to dab on camera at any time. So you could just do dollar. You could send $50 in $1 payments and get Jake to dab 50 times if you wanted to.
I was about to ask that.
Yes,
Man.
I will dab away all day long for
really
however many
hope.
dollars. What we really should do, Steven, is we should really get somebody with a bunch of stack of dollar bills and just get them to make it rain. And I'm just dabbing away, trying to keep up. That would be fun.
I really hope when we start, it's like 2 minutes in, and then someone donates the full 500, and they're like, "All of this is for dabs."
All of this is for dabs. Oh man,
that would be great.
We need like a clicker. Anyway, that's for $1. Yeah. For $5, Steven has to stop what he's doing and tell a pun, and he has to try not to repeat the whole stream. So you got to have 24 hours worth of puns ready to go, Steven.
Got to test my resolve with this one.
That's a measly $5, no big deal. For another $5, you can get one of us to do an impression, and you just have to tell us who you want to do it. A what?
Attempt an impression.
Attempt an impression. You can say, Jake, attempt a Scottish impression, and I'll give my best shot at it. Steven, we want you to do GameStop Mom impression, and Steven will do it. Just whatever you want to get us to do. Tim Allen, whatever, just whatever. Anything and everything, we'll do it. Another $5 reward is Jake will sing you a song. So if you've ever watched our live streams, you know that I sometimes just break out into random song, like I just start making up things. I'll do that for you. You can give me a topic, you can give me whatever, and I'll make it happen. Then another donation reward that we're really excited about is for $20, you can get one of me or Steven, or for that matter, well, really just me or Steven. You can get one of us pied in the face. So you can, when you send your message, you can say, I want Jake to pie Steven in the face, or I want Steven to pie Jake in the face. And that's for $20. So we're going to have enough whipped cream to go through the whole night, or in the day, whatever. But that's a $20 reward. And that's it. That's all we've got right now. So I'm hoping to add some more to this, but we may not. Those are just the ones we've come up with so far. But that's just to encourage you to donate a little bit, get something immediate for your funds. But anyway, we also understand that everyone may not be in a financial situation where they can donate. I would say this: even $1 makes a difference, and you get a free dab for it. So that's if that's all you can do, we understand, and we love it, and that's awesome. If you can't even do that, we also understand that. What we would ask is that you share the live stream with your friends. Yeah. Share it around, do all this and that, or even just share our donation link, which is going to be ChortleGamesExtraLife.com. If you just share that with your friends, share that on your Facebook, on your Twitter, whatever, just let people know that we're doing it and that it's supporting this hospital. So we'd really, really appreciate that. But anyway, that is coming up this Saturday. So if you're watching the podcast, you've got like 12 hours or so before this starts.
Yeah.
So have fun. Be ready for that. And feel free to tune in and tune out. Like I said, we're going to be going all day, so there will be a lot of fun stuff being had.
Just come for whatever you want to or can.
I feel like, though, you should try to make it to the 3 o'clock Whose Chortle Is It Anyway?
It's either going to be really funny or uncomfortable to watch to where you laugh at it. So you're going to laugh either way.
It's going to be enjoyable either way. But anyway, that's it for housekeeping. Let's start, Steven, with what we always start up with is catch-up. That's where we talk about what we've been playing or watching this week. And Steven and I have been playing a couple things. For me, mostly one thing. But Steven has a couple other things. Steven, you and Jeremy did some Destiny this week, and you got a shit ton of exotics.
Oh, man. We got so many exotics.
I'm mad. I'm jealous.
You didn't watch Xur from last Friday, did you?
I did not. I was at a shoot.
Good. Don't watch it.
So we in all seriousness, what did you get?
Trinity Ghoul.
I freaking hate you.
And it was. Did you
get it from Xur, or is it just happened?
I got it from the heroic adventure.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was within like the first 10 minutes of the stream. I felt so bad. I felt so awful.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I got Trinity Ghoul on Friday, and I thought surely that was a fluke.
Right.
So then Marcus actually joined us. He played with us.
Oh, awesome.
On Tuesday. So Jeremy and Marcus from 8-Bit Gamesters, they both played Destiny with us on Tuesday.
Awesome.
We got, all of us but Marcus, we got a bunch of exotics. I got 3 exotics. The first one I got was the, I can't remember what they're called, but it's the new Forsaken boots for the Warlock that is for the Chaos Reach. So the boots that fill your super if you're close, if you start sprinting.
Right.
I got those and I was so mad because that was like, great, another Forsaken piece that's not Phoenix.
Right.
That, because the one piece I want is Phoenix Protocol. And then I got Cerberus +1. That's the shotgun auto rifle. It's interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And then I got one other, but I don't remember what it was. But Jeremy, oh my God, Jeremy got the Twin Fox rocket launcher.
Oh man.
The Black Talon sword, the one that shoots projectiles. He got Borealis. He got 5 total, and 4 of them were Forsaken exotics, and this was over the course of 4.5 hours of playing.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. It really is. And so my thing is, like, we know that with the update they released on Tuesday, they made it to where it's less likely for exotic duplicates to drop, which is great. Mm-hmm. But it looks like they increased the exotic drop rate as well. So for those of you watching this, they probably won't fix this till Tuesday, so you should definitely play some Destiny between now and Tuesday, because something tells me they're going to patch it out. Yeah. But that is that was my experience with Destiny. I'm back in it just because, hey, they're actually rewarding me, so now there's suddenly a reason to play it and believe that I will get stuff for playing the game. So that's great. But there's this other game that came out this year, well, this month, that many people have been waiting for since the beginning of the year. And I'm, of course, talking about Sentinels of the Multiverse Oblivion expansion. I got you with that one.
That was a great gotcha. I knew it. As soon as you started, I was like, oh my God, he's doing this. Okay, yeah. Sentinels of the Multiverse. We've actually done a video of this. We have another one in the bag. We just haven't put out yet. That's a card game where you you're superheroes, and it's almost like D&D, where you're kind of just like you're fighting a villain and that sort of stuff.
It's like a mixture of D&D and Magic the Gathering if it was all done to if it was a hero shooter that played like a card game.
Right.
And that sounds really confusing, but trust me, it works super well.
A lot of fun. Go watch our video of it. It's actually a podcast. It's a couple episodes ago, probably 20 or 30 episodes at this point. But
so they came out with the final expansion called Oblivion. And leading up to that, I also bought a new hero pack. So I haven't fought Oblivion yet, but I'll talk about him real quick before I talk about the heroes, because the heroes are amazing. So Oblivion is basically a mixture of Darkseid and Galactus. He is this large cosmic entity that is looking to end all timelines and realities at once. So fighting him means that you're fighting two of his henchmen, I think, which they have, I think, around 90 health each, and each of those fights happens on a different battlefield. So now you've got two battlefields, and each battlefield has an environment deck, and so you can move players between battlefields. So you could split your party of 5, like 3 and 2, 1 and 4, so you could be fighting in two different battlefields at the same time.
Right.
But also, Oblivion is off in the distance doing things. I haven't fought him, and I haven't tried to comprehend him yet because I've just gotten back into the game. But it sounds crazy. Oblivion has 10,000 health, whereas the average hero has 25. Yeah. So
10,000 health?
10,000 health, and his villain card is not a card, it's a booklet.
Oh my god.
Because he's got 3 forms. And I don't even know. But it's cool because now they've added what are called missions, which is where in the middle of doing these fights, you can complete an objective, and that objective will give you a reward, and those rewards might be either some kind of buff for your character, or the thing that I thought was really cool, different versions of characters from different realities that act as buff characters for your team. So, for example, one of them, Setback is the character that Miles played in the podcast. There's a version of him from a different reality called Lucky Break, and he's basically Setback if he was Superman.
Gotcha.
So you can get him as a buff character to basically give the team an ability while he's on the field, but he also has a health bar so he can be killed. So you're pulling in boons from different realities while you're fighting Oblivion. It's weird. I haven't done it yet, but that's on my list. But
that
more
sounds like
importantly,
an ultimate battle type, like you've had friends who you all have been playing this for months, and you need a challenge type of scenario.
Yeah, that's my thing, is that next time you're in town and not here for a 24-hour charity live stream happening Saturday, November 3rd at 11:59 p.m.
Right.
Or Friday, yeah. But my thing is, like, I'm going to be gathering my dungeon party. It's going to be, you, me, Miles, our friend Eric, and one other person, like the people that actually play this game with me, and we're going to take on Oblivion. All
right.
But the fun part about this new expansion, one of the fun parts, is that there's a lot of new heroes to fight Oblivion with.
Right.
So the Void Guard came out right before Oblivion did, and that's the Sentinels team that I played.
Right.
That's them, but all of them have their own individual decks. So you've got Dr. Medico is the best healer in the game. He was great. I played him once recently. He was awesome. Mainstay, which is a biker dude that is even more resilient than Legacy.
Right.
Writhe, who is like a mixture of Tony Stark and Tokoyami, the shadow bird guy from My Hero Academia.
Right. It's an interesting but accurate way to describe.
Yeah. And then Idealist, who is a teenage girl that has the ability to create constructs with her mind that work differently from Captain Cosmic, but kind of similar.
Right.
But the characters I wanted to talk about real quick before we moved on, Oblivion came out with characters that were former villains that are now heroes. So you've got Luminary, who was Baron Blade, which is the first fight that anyone should do in this game, because he is your typical mad scientist where he can constantly put devices on the field. So he's got turrets, robots, that he's a minion master kind of.
Right.
But his interesting mechanic is that he's got what are called doomsday devices.
Right.
Which is where I'll use 2 as an example. If his discard pile gets up to 15 cards or more, and he has one of these Doomsday devices in play, he can use his power phase to activate the Doomsday power and then discard his discard pile, basically shuffle his discard into his deck. So one of those is an orbital death laser that can deal the number of cards in the discard pile that much damage to an enemy target. And then another one is a Terralunar black hole generator, so he can wipe up to the number of cards in his discard pile divided by 2, that many cards from the map. So he can just board wipe.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, and his deck centers around feeding his trash, but also having devices in play to. So he plays like the villain does. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Then there is La Camadora, who is formerly La Capitan, the villain. She is a time traveling pirate that has a boat that is the source for time traveling. The boat never joins her in battle, but she can use time portals to bring her boat into, like, parts of her boat into play. So one of her abilities is called Portal Cannon. So she opens up a rift in time, and it has on the other side her ship's cannon. So it's a turret that she can activate that doesn't have health because it isn't on the battlefield.
Right.
So she is basically a non-health related summoner, which is interesting. And she can also, because she's time traveler, she can control the flow of her turn. So she can do any of her steps in any order if she has her certain card out. But perhaps the most, this is the last one I'll talk about, the most interesting new hero is Akash Thria. She is formerly Akash Buddha. She's a tree spirit. And the way she plays, she's basically female Groot. If she was evil and now good. So her deck... she has 50 health. That's the most health out of any hero. But her deck has these things called primordial seeds. And through certain other cards, you can infect the environment deck with her primordial seeds.
Right.
To the point to where the environment deck is playing her cards, so she can use the environment phase as her own phase.
Wow.
So she's really interesting. Miles played her the other night, and it worked pretty well. But I keep looking over to the side over here because I actually have a game going right now with myself. Because I was trying out Luminary, but it's a lot of fun. I expect we'll be playing it again sometime soon. Maybe not for the channel, but I would love for us to play it again. Yeah. New Year's is coming up, and last year you and I played it literally all night.
We played like 3 rounds or so?
It was 3 or 4 rounds, I think. Yeah. And Miles was there. He played with us. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And I expect us to do that again. I want that to be a tradition.
It was a good time. But we had a good time with it. That's not the only. Then there's another game that you and I have both been playing that people have been looking forward to all year, and maybe even.
You say that as if people haven't been looking forward to Sentinels of the Multiverse.
I don't think a large majority were, but I appreciate your gusto, Steven. And that's a Red Dead Redemption 2. I'll go first because me and Steven actually have differing opinions on this, believe it or not.
Yeah, that never happens.
I freaking love it. I cannot stop. I am obsessed. Even at work today, I found myself just kind of like looking off into the distance and like imagining what I'm gonna try to do tomorrow or tonight in the game, and here and there and all that. It's super, super fun. It's nitty gritty. It's slow. It's like slowly sipping on a nice cup of coffee. You have to ride your horse across a map to get to places. When you get off your horse, you have to remember to grab your guns before you walk over. You have to remember to put on your mask before you do something bad so that people don't know who you are. If you go to a cabin and start blowing people up, the law will come find you if you don't leave fast enough. You have to loot. To loot, you have to pick up each individual item that you want to get and look through it and see what you want to do. You have to remember to eat to keep your health core up. You have to remember to drink to keep your stamina core up. You have to remember to take a bath so that when you go back to camp, the main camp lady doesn't make you take a bath right then and there. You have to clean your horse so that your horse's stamina stays up. You have to remember to feed your horse. You can make coffee, but you have to have a coffee like canister to make the coffee. There are so many systems and so many little details that Steven's gonna. Well, I don't know exactly what Steven's gonna say about them, but normally in a game I'd be like, ugh, this is so annoying. But I find myself loving it in Red Dead. Because, like, the coffee thing, I bring that up because that's the thing that I try to do. Like, I actively try to go back to the main camp, sleep, wake up, drink coffee, because usually somebody at camp is making coffee. And then there's chores that you can do on camp that raise your honor level and help gain experience in Deadeye and your stamina and your health core. I try to, like, go to camp, sleep there, drink coffee, which restores a bunch of stats, and then, like, do a bunch of chores and then ride on to do whatever else I'm going to do. It's so good. I have some complaints. I want to let Steven take the floor for a minute, and then we can kind of go over some complaints together, because Steven's is going to be mostly complaints, I think.
Oh, please.
I'm just kidding.
Make me sound like I do nothing but gripe and moan.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Steven and I just have different opinions on it. So,
yeah.
All right, Steven,
take the floor. Now I'm going to gripe, moan, and complain. No, here's the thing. Right out the gate, I will say this. The game is a technical marvel.
Oh, my God. It's beautiful.
It is deserving of the praise it has. Mm-hmm. I got to hand it to Rockstar. They did a bang-up job creating this game that kind of transcends what you'd expect from a video game. Mm-hmm. There are so many systems at play here. There's so much detail. It's impressive, and to say anything less would be wrong.
Right.
That being said, it's boring. And here, allow me to explain. I am probably 10 hours into the game.
Mm-hmm. And You've actually made it further in the story than I have.
Yes. I've been playing mostly story, been trying to figure out how to get different guns and everything, doing some exploration. And it's slow. It's so slow. Like, not a lot has happened. And I get it. They're trying to take their time to build the characters to ramp up to something. But the tutorial took 2.5 hours.
Getting out from the mountain is a long ride.
And my thing is, there are so many people out there that you could say, wow, Red Dead is an amazing game. But those people will be like, I only have time to play these games with my friends. Those people aren't going to have a good time with this game because there's not enough time for them to play it. It's just too big. It's too much. Mm-hmm. And I hate it for people like that. Mm-hmm. About the systems, I'm going to talk about cons real quick, and then we can kind of come to the middle here after I've talked about the cons and kind of share similar opinions. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the many systems at play. Mm-hmm. There is a mission where you have to go rob these two brothers, mm-hmm. And you can choose to do it at night or day. Of course, I did night. And you have to steal $50 worth of valuables from their house. Mm-hmm.
And then steal their stagecoach? Is that the mission you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah, yes, it is. So, because this game is not clear on any of its systems whatsoever, I went to do this mission. Uh-huh. And then I found out my stash was full on the items to steal from there, so I couldn't do the mission.
Oh, gosh.
So I had to cancel the mission. Try to figure out... and here's the funny thing. That mission was what you were supposed to do to unlock the ability to sell those items.
Sell those things, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you have full of that? Because I just now, like a day or so ago, did that mission. But I've probably put in about the same amount of hours that you have. And I didn't have full of all the, it's things like silver watches and pearl earrings and things like that. I've looted everybody. I've done a couple homesteads where I've stolen stuff from people's places. Like, that's crazy that you were completely full.
I was completely full on the specific things that I was supposed to pick up there.
Right.
So you can only carry 5 of each. I had 5 of 3 different things, so I couldn't do the mission. So thank God I looked at the donation thing, which wasn't properly explained, and saw that I could donate those things. So I had to ride all the way back to the camp, donate those things, then go back, do the mission from the beginning again. And with no convenient fast travel system, that was a pain in the butt. I looked up how to get this gun, I don't remember what it's called. It's the second repeater.
Repeater, yeah.
Yeah. I looked up how to get this gun after I got to the town that you were supposed to get it from. And the way to get it was, you got to rob the gunsmith and save this guy below in the cellar. Well, guess what? I got to a point in the story where I had a deputy badge, and it told me, you can't do anything with your weapons in this town while you're deputized. Well, that would have been good to know. That would have been great if you had explained it to me. And so, like,
could you not go to that cellar deputized?
Nope.
Like,
because you have to rob him to get to the cellar.
And be like, "What up, bitch? I'm the deputy."
Nope. You have to rob him.
Wow.
And see, I'm at the mercy of this game's lack of explanation, and it's really frustrating when the game's control scheme is as garbage as it is. And this is like the biggest problem that I have with the game, is it is such a pain to traverse this world. Like, riding a horse is fine. It can be fun. The fact that you have to tap X repeatedly to run, and also tap X repeatedly to ride your horse, is awful. Because then it's like, I have a shiny new controller that I got to play Metro, because my other controllers had problems. I refuse to use this controller for this game because the X button doesn't stand a chance after that. Because this game is wanting to
schemes. You could probably find one that doesn't make you do that.
Well, then I'm going to be murdering a different button. Like, if it's not the X button, it's a button, because
right.
That's how the control, because Rockstar tries to be hyper realistic with the functionality of their control schemes and feeling like you're a real person. They go for that grounded realism.
Right.
But the problem with that is, you can do that, and we can applaud you for that, but don't be surprised at the end of the day when your control scheme, it sucks and is a chore to use. Because even like just moving your character, it feels stiff, it feels sluggish. The shooting is okay. I will say this, I do like aspects of the shooting mechanics. Like I mentioned to you, the fact that the horse and the fact that it's your armory, I love that. That's a really cool feature. I love how the guns always take up space on your person.
Right.
So like if you have your rifle, it's shouldered over you, but if you equip the rifle, you're carrying it, you're holding it. Right. So you can either have it readied or just be carrying it. If you switch to a pistol from your rifle, like quickly, your guy still holds the rifle and just pulls out his pistol with one hand. It just looks authentic, and that's cool. That's neat detail. But the controls, like maneuvering your character, it's just not fun. Like, it just doesn't feel fun to me. And the things happening in this game are just too far and few between, where, like, I feel like I can't control the experience that I'm having with this game. And it's a game that emphasizes choice and player agency and, the open world aspect. And I just don't feel like it's an open world game in the sense that you can go anywhere whenever.
Right.
But it has linear constraints attached to it that are not properly understood until it's too late.
Gotcha.
And for the last thing I'll mention before we go to a point where we're kind of talking mixed, the character of John Marston from Red Dead Redemption 1, in my opinion, was way better than Arthur Morgan.
That's so fun.
Arthur Morgan feels like a blank slate. Because all his attributes, like his personality, goes as far as was raised to be an outlaw, is still an outlaw.
Right.
Like that's basically his defining qualities. And maybe I'm just not far enough in the story. But John Marston, like, he felt like a person. Like he felt like he had motivation, that he had character. And the reason that is happening here is because, and again, my memory of Red Dead Redemption 1 could be hazy, but I just remember appreciating John Marston as a character a lot more.
Yeah.
But the reason Arthur Morgan feels like a blank slate is because they're pushing that player agency, saying Arthur's actions and decisions affect the world and everything like that. And maybe they do, and that's great if they do. But again, going for one thing, being that players getting to choose everything, you lose the character.
Right.
And that happens with any game that gives player choice. It's like why the Far Cry games the story has become increasingly less interesting, is because they took away from Jason Brody being the defined character. He acts in such a way because that's who he is, towards you are the character in the game. You act how you do because that is you. But when you do that, the story suffers from it.
Right.
And I feel that way with this game too.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well,
so,
I have a couple of things I want to hit on before we move to like a middle ground. I want to disagree with you on there's nothing to do, because I completely disagree. Because I have not been able to progress in the story because I've had so much else I've run into doing. Like, have you done a bounty hunt yet?
I did one, and I liked it.
Oh man, I went crazy on bounty hunts for a little bit. And the other thing I like about it, like you mentioned the horse. I don't mind the tapping to run, but I understand where you're going with that. I think the reason it doesn't bother me as much is because I don't just spam X while I'm riding my horse. I get up to the fastest trot he'll do that you can hold X and he'll maintain that pace, and then I stay there. Now, I'm not flying across the map, but I am looking out for anything and everything that's around me. So if I turn left and see a camp, I can go into that camp on my way.
Yeah.
If I see a person coming up to me, you better bet your cowboy ass I'm saying, howdy, partner. And sometimes that leads to something. One time I came up to a dude, everyone who's seen anything about the game has probably seen this. One time I came up to a dude, he looked like he was having trouble with his horse. I greeted him. Arthur's like, howdy, partner, having trouble with your horse? The guy goes, yeah, I could use some help. And the horse kicks the guy in the face and he dies. And the horse runs off. And that's it. That's that whole interaction. Have you had that happen?
Yeah. To interject, the random encounters are probably the best part of the game. I love those. They're great.
But see, those kind of things happen to me all the time when I'm riding. And so that to me, like you saying, oh, there's nothing to do. I keep running into things to do. Like I have to make moments. Have you made friends with the guy who he and his two sons are building like a house or something?
No.
So right outside of Valentine, there's this, I assume it's the father and his two sons. He's called the foreman or something like that. Anyway, he and his two sons, who he thinks are useless, are building a house. I met them when I first went to Valentine, and every time I go past Valentine, I stop because their house is slowly being built. And so this most recent time, the guy was like, oh, hey there, partner. Like, he came running to me. I didn't have to greet him. And he was talking to me, showing me how their progress was going. He's like, we're going to have to call it quits here in a few months because we've run out of lumber and we've run out of money. So unless we can get some money or lumber, we may just have to call it quits. And so I had just gotten a bunch of money. So I was like, well, here, partner, here's $100. Y'all do what you got to do. And he was like, oh, man, thank you. So I haven't gone back there yet. I don't know what's going to happen there. But, like, there's stuff going on that, like, I haven't even seen the whole map yet because I'm just so obsessed with what's happening in Valentine.
So to interject, it's not so much that, to clarify my statement, there is stuff to do. There is a crap ton of stuff to do. But it's lacking in... again, this may just be Rockstar, this may just be, objective point of view, interesting things to do. Or clearly marked interesting things to do.
I think I agree. I think it's more of a preference of how you do it. Because I find it interesting setting up my camp and making my coffee. But you may not find that as interesting.
Well, and I'm all for games that take their time. I absolutely, strategy games are one of my favorite types of games. But with this game, it's the amount of time that I'm putting in with no clear direction and no promise of... You mentioned bounty hunts.
Yeah.
I wanted to do more bounty hunts. I wasn't aware I could do more of them because it wasn't made aware to me.
You just have to go to the sheriff. They tell you in the sheriff's mission that you just go back to the sheriff's house and they'll have a poster up.
I tried, and there was nothing there.
There may not have been one. I only did 2 in Valentine, and then the sheriff told me, he said, "Hey, partner, look, we're not going to have any bounties up for a while. The mayor of Valentine's kind of on our ass about bounties right now, so, come back after a while."
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So that brings me to my next point. Well, for one, it wasn't clearly marked. I went and there was nothing there, and I guess I guess what I told myself was, I guess that it'll be on my map when it's time to do another one. My other point, this game is extremely bugged.
Yeah, there's a lot of buggy things. I was telling you about my camp situation. I was at I think it was a homestead or something. I think I was looking for somebody or something, and I was just kind of exploring, kind of easing my way out there, trying to figure out where it was. I didn't want to look up anything. And I basically came to the point where I was like, all right, this is probably somewhere over there, but I think it's going to happen in the day or the night, or maybe it's bugged, so I'm going to nap. So I set up my camp and took a nap. I woke up, and I was across the map. I didn't drink or anything that night. I didn't do anything crazy. I just took a nap to, reset that area. And I was completely teleported across the map. And I have no idea what caused that.
Yeah, I've had the gunsmith disappear 3 times. I had 2 other bugs. I don't remember what they were, but one of them happened to me today where, and I wish I could remember what it was, I couldn't, I had to restart the game. And there's been a lot of stuff like that where it's just most of the bugs ranged to be an annoyance, nothing more than that.
Yeah.
But it's still there. And I know what it sounds like. I know it sounds like I am reaching to find reasons to dislike this game. I don't dislike this game. I think it's a great game. But what I often do, when I see something that people are calling flawless, I challenge that. I want to see, is it truly flawless? What is here? What are people not seeing? And I don't want to, I'm not here to spoil anyone's fun. I'm just here saying there are problems here. And while a lot of it is preference based, there are clear issues. But the fact that they have the game that they've created is in and of itself a feat, because it is worthy of the praise it's been getting, but it is flawed, more so than people are saying. And I've just been seeking as to why while trying to enjoy it, because I want to enjoy this game. But I think the biggest problem that, from my experience, is just it's not engaging to me. Because I want to like the characters more than I do, and some of my favorite parts of the story are when the gang is interacting. I think it's really cool how they always seem to be doing something in the camp, and I think it's cool they all are their own individual personalities and they feel like characters. For the most part. But the story itself hasn't really done much other than just put these characters on screen and act like that's enough to get me engaged in the story. Spider-Man is an example that I've used when comparing this game, because Spider-Man right now is up there for Game of the Year for me, just because it resonated a lot more with me than this game did, because I'm huge into superheroes, grew up with Spider-Man, all that stuff. But Spider-Man was engaging not only because of the characters and because of the faithful adaptations of the characters, but because of what they went through, what happened. And it was paced perfectly. This game suffers, in my opinion, from poor pacing and a lack of engagement of what the characters are going through, and relies more so on just the characters being there and going through what an average person in the West would go through.
Yeah.
Which
like
maybe that's what they're going for.
A cowboy simulator, and
it is a cowboy simulator almost to a fault. And to some people that's great. But to me, it's like the reason I play video games. One of the reasons I play video games is to experience stories that go beyond regular life. Spider-Man is interesting because it's a story about this guy who has this great power and great responsibility to save this city that doesn't want him. That's an engaging story. Red Dead Redemption 2 is, here's what it was like to live in 1899 or whatever the day is.
But see, I think there's a certain audience that would find that interesting.
Oh, absolutely. But to me, that's not enough to be engaging. There have been certain lines where characters have said something about like, wow, it's not like it used to be. Like, that's a bit old fashioned even for us. Talking about the law and how it's, coming down on the outlaws. That's interesting. Right. Like that's what I expected from this story, more so than just, oh, here's going fishing with this kid. Oh, we're going to move to this camp. I wanted more of, and I feel like this is probably where it's headed, but I want more of the idea of the extinction of the cowboy, the endangerment of the species of the cowboy. That's interesting to me because and maybe again, this is probably where it's headed, but that comes back to my lack of time issue. But what I want to see from this game moving forward, and let me know in the comments if I'm onto something and if this is where it's headed. But I'm at the point where I know these characters and I'm attached to them to some degree. Show me the plight of them realizing that their time is numbered.
Right.
That their lifestyle is definitely on a clock, and I want to see their suffering, not because I'm a sadist, but because that's interesting to me. This idea of this family who is doing what they can to survive, and in a world that wants to stomp them out.
Right.
I want more of that.
I feel like that's where the story's going to go. You've got to remember the story alone is 60 hours. So you're maybe through the first 1/6 of the story.
Which, yes, and again, everything I've said is based on my experience, and I think I'm in chapter 3.
Yeah.
But
I feel like chapter 1 and chapter 2 are still like chapter 1 obviously is very much a tutorial.
I'm told that it picks up when you get to Rhodes, and I just got to Rhodes.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead. Finish what you're gonna say.
Yeah, my last thought. That's all well and good. And I'm pleased to hear that that's probably where it's headed. But the fact of the matter is, even I have more time to play video games than most people do. And I've put a lot of time into this game. And I'm still not at the point to where I'm engaged in the story yet. So that's an issue with pacing.
Yeah.
But I look forward to when the story changes towards that direction, because I definitely want to play that game. I want to experience that story that
cowboys are ending and
cowboys are coming to an end, and witnessing the fall. That's super interesting to me, and so I look forward to. Sorry, I had to turn my PlayStation on to finish the download. I look forward to experiencing that. Yeah. And if I do, when I do, whatever, you'll hear about it from me. Yeah. And I will not necessarily eat my words, because the pacing is an issue. Right. But I will definitely say that, hey, if you've got the time to sit through it and make it there, this is definitely a game for you. I will say that if it comes to it. But right now, I'm not there yet. I've
got one other thing I want to talk about Red Dead and then we need to move on. I agree with some of the things you're saying about things not being clear. There are some things that you really have to dig, and like I'm the kind of person that, like, when I'm not playing the game, I'm watching videos about how to do things. so that when I
Right.
get there, I'm aware of all the things I need to know about. That's not an excuse. The game should tell you, but that. The biggest thing I have a complaint with, and like I said, a lot of your complaints I agree with, a lot of them I don't. But the biggest complaint I have is being honorable in this game seems way harder than it was in Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're an outlaw, and we are a robber, and I get that, but at the same time, in Red Dead 1, you were still an outlaw, but you were mostly working with the government to bring down outlaws,
Right.
and so I don't know if that just kind of trajectory worked better for me or what, but I've tried to be a good cowboy in the game. And I'm doing a lot of good things. But every now and then there's a moment in the story where I have to do something bad. And sometimes it's not just bad, it's outright horrible. For instance, there's this one mission in Strawberry where you get one of your gang members out of jail.
Yep.
I go there, I talk to the sheriff. Sheriff's like, no way in hell we're letting you have him. I go down to the cell, I talk to the guy. He's like, you got to stick a dynamite? And I'm thinking, okay, my horse is right here. We blow him out. We get on the horse. We ride this way because we're already on the edge of town. We'll be out of here in no time. So I'm like, okay. So I throw the dynamite. It blows it up. It lets him out. Almost kills me. But anyway, he gets out. He shoots the guy in the cell with him. And he's like, F this town. We're killing everybody. And he goes on a rampage, killing everyone in town. I immediately have a wanted thing. Eventually, my bounty starts ticking off, and it's like $20, $50, $100, $200, $300. I end up with a $300 bounty. I was using my lasso. I was trying to wrap up everybody I could. Usually, by the time I had somebody lassoed, the character would come and just shoot him in the face on the ground, and it's just like, really, dude? And at some point, he kills a woman that I still don't really know what that's about. And at that point, I was just like, I want to kill him. I want to kill him. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm done. Like, I should have just left him in here, never done this mission, whatever. And so I ended up having to pay that $300 or $400 to even go back to that town, which I needed to do. And I had just gotten a bunch of money, so I was real mad about it. Thankfully, I had enough to at least cover it. But that just really frustrated me. It also took my honor took a hit. I've read in reviews that like it's easier to be an honorable cowboy in this game than it is a bad one. And I kind of disagree with that. There are lots of honorable things you can do, but they're slow ticks, and you do one event like that took my tick way down. Like I had finally moved. Like my thing was neutral for a long, long time. I had finally moved it 1 or 2 ticks up. That slammed it right back to neutral, and I was just like, "Dang it!" Yep. So anyway, that's my biggest complaint. Is I wish it was easier to be an honorable cowboy. But
and that's one of those things that goes back to it being an open world game, but feeling kind of on the rails,
right?
On rails at times, because I thought the same thing, and that frustrated me. But
yeah, we gotta go through the news pretty quick here. But let's dive into some news. So we got some news about Anthem this week. That the Paris Games Week, they showed some new gameplay. They actually gave us new information instead of at whatever the last, I want to say it was like London or Gamescom or something. They just didn't do anything. But they finally showed the Interceptor. Obviously, the Interceptor we've seen, but we've never seen like from the point of view of. We didn't really get any information on. We now know, like most people predicted, it is a fast, melee-focused build. I say melee-focused kind of in quotes because it has a lot of, like, its special move is it pulls out daggers and starts going crazy on fools. And it has a melee ability with daggers, but it also has light guns. It moves very quickly. I think it flies a little bit faster than everyone else does. It's it's described as the ranger character who comes in quick, hits hard, and gets out before anybody knows what happened. So I'm excited about that. That's definitely what I wanted the build to be.
Yep.
What do you think, Steven? I know you're more of a ranger type person anyway. So what do you feel about it?
I won't be playing an interceptor.
You will be or won't be?
Won't be. I was kind of hoping that it was a healer type. I knew it wouldn't be.
Right. I was thinking it might
just because, yeah, this game is definitely moving away from the holy trinity of RPGs. You know, the tank, the DPS, and the healer. It's definitely moving away from that to where it wants everyone to feel self-sufficient.
Right.
So
there
I don't think
could be
there's
a healer coming. They have said there are going to be other ones later.
There could be, but I don't see this game doing that because it feels more like Destiny as opposed to something like Division,
right?
Where it's everyone does the killing just in different flavors.
Yeah. I feel like at some point they have to do one because, like, if Destiny, you want to look at Destiny and say, here's your 3 classes. They each do these 3 things, and none of them are healing. And move on. If we've already got basically 4 classes and you're telling me there's going to be more than that, like, I don't know how much more varied that can get without eventually hitting a healer.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Who knows? Anyway, but
yeah, I always lean more towards role-based combat, and so I hope that that's where this game's headed. I just don't think it is. I'm still really, really excited about Anthem.
I'm really excited about it.
But it looks like I'm still going to be between the Storm and the Ranger.
See, I'm going to be between the Storm and the Interceptor. So
yeah.
Those are definitely 2 I'm excited about. But that's good news. I'm glad we finally get to know what the Interceptor does. There's a lot of great videos out there showing the gameplay video right now, walking through all the different things it seems to have. So that's exciting. This game cannot come fast enough. And hopefully it will not be delayed. Fingers crossed, still hoping. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so the big chunk of there was a lot that happened this week, but this kind of over-trumped everything. Nintendo had a 40-minute-ish direct today talking all about Smash. It was crazy. It was very, very detailed to the point that they spent time talking about the brightness of a screen option, which I thought was a little bit much, but anyway. So they open up the direct. It's what's the guy's name, Steven? It just blanked on me.
Sakurai.
So it's Sakurai at his little kitchen table, and he's like, "Hey everybody, this is our last direct. We're gonna start it off by showing you our 2 last fighters that are gonna come out with the game." And you're like, "Oh shit, 2? First off, question mark 2? Because the rumor was there were like 5. Wasn't it 5 or so? It was like Sonic,
it was Shadow,
Isaac,
Banjo, Isaac. It was like 7 new fighters was what the rumor was.
It was crazy. But anyway, so he says 2, and then he says, last. And it's this boxing. We see, what's his name? I want to say Little Rick.
Little
Mac. Right.
Little Mac.
There he goes. We see Little Mac fighting somebody, and he gets knocked out, and it's Ken from Street Fighter. And there's a nice little joke in there that's like, technically, Ryu should be the Echo Fighter for Ken, but we won't go there, or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so a cool Echo Fighter, a good Echo Fighter. After they talk about him, it cuts back to that cinematic, and suddenly Ken gets attacked by this just fireball that lands in the ring, and as the fire kind of transcends away, it's Incinerator, which is one of the...
Incineroar.
I call it Incinerator. Anyway, from Pokemon Sun and Moon, is it Litten? The Lit Kitten? It's like his final form. But anyway, he looks like an awesome character. I'm honestly really glad they ended up
pro wrestler.
I know. He's great. I'm disappointed that Rowlet's final form, I can never remember what it's called. I would have liked him better, but he got into Pokemon tournament or whatever. So
Pokken,
it all makes sense. But
I think Incineroar's in Pokken as well.
That's what I meant. Yeah, he's in Pokken, Pokken tournament or whatever it's called. So it makes sense, but I wish he could have been in there too. But if they'd done that, then they would have had the seal, and then it would have been like, what, So I understand, but anyway. That was a great announcement. And then from there, they went in to talk about all sorts of details. Like they went through the option menu. They talked about how online's going to work. They talked about how local wireless is going to work, which I'm really excited about that. But the couple of the big things that they really talked about was this idea of spirits. So they said they're not doing trophies anymore. Trophies were always kind of just collectible. So they were like, we want to do more. So they've made these spirits, and Steven, correct me if I'm wrong, or just fill in the blanks if I'm getting this wrong. But basically, they're going to be all the other characters that normally would have been a trophy are now these spirits that you can use to buff and customize each of your fighters.
They are basically, they're combining equipment from Wii U Smash Brothers with trophies from every other Smash Brothers, and now they're one and the same.
Yeah. And it looks very complicated. Like there's a part where you can send your spirits on missions to level them up while you're not playing. You can take spirits from other enemies when you fight in the spirit mode. There's all sorts of things going on with that. I was reading some articles that was like, wow, they took a gacha game and put it into Smash Brothers, but just took out the gacha part. There's all sorts of things going on there. So it's interesting. I'm glad that we don't have trophies that don't do anything anymore. But at the same time, like, I personally am not going to do anything with these. Like, I'm gonna get them, and they're gonna pile up, and then someday somebody's gonna say, hey, you have a really good combo here if you put this guy with this guy and that, and maybe I'll do something. But
I'm all about this.
Well, I figured you would be. You like these more complex customization type things.
Absolutely. I think it's a smart usage of their assets.
Absolutely.
Because before it was, equipment was a great idea, and it added a lot to the game in my opinion. But to take equipment and to give it the faces of all the different characters that we wanted to see in this game, that's really smart. Really good use of what they have.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool.
The one thing I did find interesting was you actually can fight some of the spirits, and they'll be the fighters that are closest to them. So like Rivali from Breath of the Wild, he's a spirit. Falco, who he looks just like, is his fighter in that scenario.
Yeah.
There's a Bullet Bill spirit that I think there must be a Bullet Bill item or something.
Yeah. There is.
Whenever you fight the Bullet Bill spirit, it's a couple guys with the Bullet Bill item, and it's just like bullet bills flying everywhere constantly. So there's a lot of cool. I like how they took just the bare bones of like, what can we combine to make something like this character. And I missed the memo that Mii Fighters were coming back. Like, really? I don't know that was a big announcement, that they just started talking about it here, and I was like,
everyone is here, Jake. Everyone.
Did they say that then? I must have missed that. Anyway, they showed all sorts of new costumes and equipment for Mii Fighters. Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles is a Mii Fighter costume you can get. The Yiga clan, which I really thought was cool. That's going to be a fun fighting thing. But anyway, Spirit's kind of different. Steven, I'm glad you're excited about it, and I agree with you. I'm glad they're doing something with kind of an obsolete thing otherwise.
Yeah.
And then they talked about some new assist trophies. Isaac, who was one of the rumored characters, was an assist trophy. Shadow, who was one of the rumored characters, was an assist trophy. So some of those are kind of off the board, seemingly. So we'll see where they go with that. Then they started talking about DLC. So they're going to have fighter packs, I think is what they call them, where basically you get a fighter, a stage, and a new song. And it's like $5 for a pack. And then I don't know if he said they're doing 5 or if they've got 5 planned right now or what that whole scenario was. But basically you can get the fighter pass, which is $25, which I really don't think that even gets you one for cheaper. Because 5 times 5 is 25, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, I guess it's technically $5.99, so it's technically $6.
It
so
might
saving
include
a little
all
bit.
future fighters too. I don't know.
Anyway, they're not Echo fighters.
Yeah.
He said specifically they're going to be new fighters, so which I think that's nice. But anyway, it was nice that he was like, if you don't believe in it, don't pre-order it. He was like, I totally understand you're going to want to see what's in it before you buy it, but if you really feel it,
that he said that.
Do it. So I appreciated that, but
that was a good touch.
I am excited that they are going to continue this trend that we saw with Smash Wii U, where they brought in new characters, and really the DLC characters was where we really saw some crazy stuff, because that's where we got Cloud, that's where we got Bayonetta, that's where we got Mewtwo again. So I really hope that's where we're going to see Banjo, or that's where we're going to see, whatever. I hope that's where that's going, but anyway, they didn't show off any of those except for one, who is going to be free for anybody who pre-orders the game. And oh my God, there are jokes everywhere on Twitter. I kind of agree with them, but Piranha Plant, not Petey Piranha, Piranha Plant is a fighter.
Let's just talk about how Waluigi can't get a fighter spot, but a potted plant can.
I mean, really though, or even like Isaac, who I know a lot of people were excited about, or even Gino or whatever.
Freaking Gino, man, he needs to get his time.
No, man, he's having a rough go. But there were all these other people that people had thought about, that had theorized, and you tell me that your one character that you're adding before we go is a Piranha Plant. Not even Petey Piranha. Like, if it had been Petey Piranha, maybe I'd be okay with this. Mm-hmm. I'm all for new fighters. I'm excited that hey, there's one more new fighter. I really am. But at the same time, why? There are so many other characters that people want in this. Like, I want Midna. I want Midna. Why can't Midna be in this? I don't know. Anyway,
the plant was the worst fighter to have as a but wait, there's more announcement.
Yeah.
Literally the least interesting. But I don't know.
He does look good though. He does. His movesets look really nice. Like, he's got that really long range attack that I think a lot of people are going to do some crazy stuff with. But anyway, that's not how they ended it though. That's just kind of like you said. But wait, there's more. The last thing they talked about is the World of Light. I'm calling it a story mode. I've seen other people complaining that it's not a story mode, an adventure mode. I think it makes it looks like a story mode to me, but we'll get there. Anyway, there's this awesome cinematic that you've got to go find and watch, where basically it's all the fighters. They're on this cliffside, and all of the Mr. Hands, a ton of them, are just floating in, and there's some sort of light being with wings that's in the center, and they're all coming from him. The characters have voice lines, which kind of weirded me out. But
all in English. But
it just kind of weirded me out. But anyway, they say some line, and then the hands start to turn into light. One of the Xenoblade characters has a vision of what's about to happen, and then Shulk. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shulk. There's a funny meme already of Shulk turning around to look at everybody, and he doesn't say anything in the cinematic, but in this meme, somebody put in quotes, "We're all gonna effing die, Shulk." And so anyway, it basically the being turns into a black hole, and from the black hole comes all these beams of light, and it wipes out everybody but Kirby. Probably the saddest moment is when Pikachu and Sonic are running next to each other, and we all know good and well that Sonic can run faster than light, and he was trying to save Pikachu, and he died. And it's horrible. It deserves an Emmy.
The best part of the entire cinematic is when it shows all these people running from the beam, and then it just shows Snake's box. And it doesn't do anything. Well, and then the beam takes him out, and Snake was in there.
So Snake doing his box, that's funny. Then it shows the villager, Wii Fit Lady, and Duck Dog. And Duck Dog, the bird is like holding onto his butt, and he's trying to fly, and he can't do anything. Villager just kind of looks around and is like, I don't know, like what do I do? And then Wii Fit Lady just like gets in a pose, like that's gonna do something.
Yep.
Oh man!
But
and then Kirby's the only one that survives.
Yeah, you can tell that Sakurai was the one who created Kirby, because that's the second time now. Because in Subspace Emissary, Kirby was the MVP of the entire story.
Right.
And now in this cinematic, Kirby's the only one to live. But
anyway, then it sets up that basically Kirby is going to have to go fight all of the characters to kind of reawaken them. And I assume that you're going to eventually, you'll go fight Mario, you'll get Mario, then you'll go get,
it looks like you start as Kirby and then unlock others. And what's interesting is that it looks like you go to the different worlds, and they showed like Pokemon Trainer, when you're playing as him on the map, you actually could summon a Lapras.
Yes.
And use Surf to go around the world, which was really cool.
It seems like there's going to be a lot of fun elements to that. But call it an adventure mode, call it a story mode. I feel like it's one and the same with this. Because I feel like there's got to be some sort of story element going on. Because even the story mode in what was it, Wii? Brawl, where, I mean, basically all it was we had some cool cinematics, but it was essentially kind of the same format of we're all coming together to fight the hand or whatever.
This is this game's take on Subspace Emissary, because even Subspace Emissary wasn't called the story mode, it was called the adventure mode.
Right.
So this is this game's adventure mode, and while it doesn't look like it'll have as many cinematics as Subspace Emissary, which, let's be honest, the cinematics were the best part.
Yeah.
It still looks like it is that aspect of an adventure mode where it takes time to complete, and there is a completion to it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, I think that's great too. That gives us people who don't have a lot of people to play with all the time something to do with the game still. So that'll be good. But anyway, overall, I'm excited about the game. This Direct was kind of a letdown. But I'm still, overall, I'm excited about what we saw at the Direct. I'm just, the potted plant kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But at the same time, the game overall, what we've seen overall, is going to be amazing. And I really can't complain. It's just like, this is the last thing you're going to show me before we play the game. Like, King K. Rool would have been a better thing to leave off with, or even Incinerator would have, like, that was a great reveal for me if that had been the last one. But I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it was a weird way to go out before release, but let's be honest, this game was shut up and take my money a long time ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This game was shut up and take my money before they showed new characters for me. It was great. So anyway, I can't wait. December 7th, everybody, it's coming. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of ChortleCast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com. You can like this video, share it with your friends, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought about Red Dead Redemption 2. Let us know if you're excited about Smash and if you're excited about Anthem, which we are excited about all three. So anyway, we do that.
Fun fact about Anthem, I just looked this up to see the details about the classes. The Ranger has an ability where it can buff the team with cooldown reduction. So I'll be playing a Ranger.
I knew you were gonna play a Ranger from the get-go. I just did.
Yeah.
But yes, anyway, if you're on an audio listener, you're probably listening through iTunes podcasts. You can leave us a review there. That really helps people find the channel or the podcast. You can also send us an email at chortlecast@gmail.com, like I mentioned before. Ask us questions, talk about topics, news stories, things you want to hear us talk about. You can also hit us up on our Discord, which you can find in the description of this video or podcast, and you can let us know about those topics there as well. This is not the only thing, and then you can also follow us on Facebook at Chortle Games and on Twitter at Chortle Games, and hear us talk and yabber on all week long about all the exciting things we're doing. I'm going to talk about schedule for this week and next week. This weekend is very different from what we normally do. Normally, on Friday, we have a podcast, 12 o'clock Central Time. Shortly before or after that, Steven goes live to find Xur in Destiny 2, which we will be doing. But then normally we do 2 live streams on Friday, 2 live streams on Saturday. This weekend we're not doing that. That. We are not going to have. We are going to have a 15-minute test live stream at some point Friday night before we go live Saturday at 12 a.m. to do the 24-hour live stream for Extra Life. Again, highly encourage you all to come be a part of whatever time slot you can come to that to see what we're doing. Encourage you to donate. If you can't donate, share with people who you think might could donate, et cetera, et cetera. This is all for a good cause and all to help those big, beautiful kids out there. But anyway, Saturday is going to be a full, literally 24 hours. We're going to be playing over 12 games there, so that's going to be a whole lot. So much so, in fact, that Monday, where we would normally have a Let's Play video, we will not be having a Let's Play video because Jake is going to need time to recover and pull something together. So Tuesday, we'll be back in action with Team Up Tuesday. I may or may not be able to be there because I'm going on another work trip. So Steven, you and I will have to talk about that. But we'll probably be playing Destiny. That's usually what we do on Team Up Tuesdays. Wednesday, we'll have a Let's Play. It's going to be Serial Cleaner. We're out of the Halloween time. We're back to some of our normal stuff. Me and Steven are going to be playing Serial Cleaner again. On Thursday, Steven does a Phantom Doctrine live stream. So you can go hang out there. Become a secret agent. Become a part of the Chortle Secret Agency. On Friday, we'll have another podcast. 12 o'clock Central Time. We'll be doing that Zur live stream, and then we'll have 2 podcasts on Friday and 2 podcasts on Saturday. Or not podcasts, 2 live streams on Friday and 2 live streams on Saturday. So we'll be back to normal-ish schedule after Tuesday of next week. But anyway, it's going to be an exciting time. Steven, are you ready? Are you ready? Just think, in like 12 hours, we're going to be awake for 24 hours.
Sure.
I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, highly encourage you all to at least pop in. 3 o'clock is going to be the time you don't want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, Steven, thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting through all this stuff with me. I'm glad that we can have differing opinions but still be good friends, and I love it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.